What's good, guys? I'll get rid of the chat for this stream because actually I forgot to set it up. Fuck, it doesn't matter. So it's on the bot, on the recording, but it's okay. How are you guys doing? Let's look for the other side. I'm getting used to having my hair a bit longer, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's a mess. I don't know if I like it. It's not as comfortable. That's good. How you doing, guys? How many are how many are we here? Let's go. How you been up to, my guys? Let's talk for a bit while some people get in. Should I get rid of the music? Yeah, let's get rid of the music. I'm fine. I'm fine. Kind of a lot this week, really, with the creator camp. I don't know if you all seen the first poster of the creator camp gig. It's up. Creator camp hired me to do. They hit me up to make three posters. They're doing like they're doing a film festival on Austin, Texas, and they hit me up so I can make three of the posters that are for the festival. So really pumped to be a part of that project. The first one is already out. Next one, I think I'm gonna post tomorrow, and then the last one next week. So yeah, I don't know if you all seen the one from Aidan. That turned out really great. It's a nice, light-hearted, like comedy to the style of something like Scott Pilgrim. And yeah, the poster turned out really well. I really liked working with the directors and everything. It was just super cool to be able to to do a movie poster because it's been a while since I've done like a movie poster, and I really wanted to try to do a new one of those, after doing some videos on movie posters. So it turned out really great. Yeah, I sent those as an inspiration, not the Star Wars ones, but the OG Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean, and those kind of posters, the like the classic movie, the classic, how to say, the classic epic fantasy movie, with a bit of comedy and whatnot. But it turned out really great, and the other ones are also really really cool. Oh, my teeth are. I love UE design language. What do you mean by that? Let me turn something's off with the white balance. I don't know if it's the camera or whatnot, but it's all pretty shallowish, yellowish. Let me change. I'm playing with my light setup constantly. Also, I think it's my T-shirt. The T-shirt is what's dropping off the. That's a bit better. Yeah, like that. Oh, glad it helps, my guy. So pumped. Yeah, yeah. Lord of the Rings. It's a great, great movie. Yeah, yeah. But have you been, guys? Have you uploaded something into the Discord? Actually, one of the guys, like, they asked how to upload. Let me check if the description of the video it's kind of, if maybe it's not super clear. Then after, if you see the links, I guess. I should say like Discord community. Maybe I should change it to Discord community, and it will be more clearer. But if you scroll a little bit more, you'll see it. Yeah, I figured a lot of people like kind of. Oh wait, sorry. Sorry, guys. I guess a lot of people are just uploading into the Discord and not really. No, sorry. They are making the pieces for the challenges, but uh, they're not really like uploading it for feedback because they maybe see works of other people and are feeling kind of like overwhelmed and don't want to engage in that. I encourage you guys to go into the Discord and let me see if I can show you right now. Like here on the Discord, and if you go to server guide and you go into design dojo rules, here you can see the rules for the challenge, and it has some tips on how to take the challenge. You know what I mean? In a way that's not gonna overwhelm you, and it's gonna make it a little bit more easier to cope. Because I know it's not the maybe some of y'all don't have that much experience with feedback and stuff like that, and it can be overwhelming at first. I remember the first time at uni that we did like some sort of feedback whatever, and it was like shit, like to be you're telling me I need to stand like in front of the entire class and defend why did I did what I did, like that's crazy. Then you get used to it, and that's where progress really starts to kick in. So the sooner you the sooner you can like step through that fear and just posting your work and letting people like dissect it and talk about it, you lose that fear. Then you can really start to listening to people and to hearing what other people have to say about your work, because sometimes you get so caught up in how you work and how your pieces look, that having that second pair of eyes can really help, because um, other people will see stuff in your work that maybe you didn't see yourself. You know what I mean? So uh, progress, it becomes inevitable. You know what I mean? Like when you're working alone and you're constantly working alone, like you need to have a certain level of awareness of your own work to know where to go next, and to see and to look at it and go like, I like it, but this could be better, this could be like, this is worse, like this could be better, how do I improve it? Like you need to be like super self-aware and know what you're looking for to be able to spot those flaws in your own work. So that's why having people look at it in an environment where feedback is encouraged, like respectful feedback is encouraged, it's so important. So join the Discord, and and you don't need to join my Discord. Like there is a bunch of other Discords. Just look for people that are willing to look into your work and say, I like it, I don't like it, because this, because that, and you also doing the same for other people. Yo, saludos from Argentina. Idea fixed. Saludos, Brody. Saludos de Argentina. Let's go. Recibidos en Argentina. Sorry, I'm gonna switch a bit into Spanish. Just a bit. Gente, estoy pensando en hacer streams en español, pero quiero hacer días en stream en español, pero me gustaría de alguna manera cómo poder hacerlo híbrido, ¿entienden? Tipo, no sé si de alguna manera se van a hacer algún subtítulo en vivo con inteligencia artificial, seguro ya se viene, pero hay cosas del lunfardo, ¿vieron? Y de no sonar tan robótico, que eso es una cagada. ¿Se entiende? Sorry, I was telling the people that talk in Spanish also that I would love to do a stream in Spanish. Maybe a new AI feature that auto translates on the spot. Maybe it's coming out. I don't know. But the the thing with it, it's like all the slang and and like your motives of speaking, you know what I mean? Like it gets translated really robotically, and it loses a lot of the essence of speaking in the language, you know what I mean, when it's translated. I'm sure they will iron it out with artificial intelligence at some point. But yeah, for the moment, I don't know. But I would love to do like streams also in Spanish. And yeah, this hair is killing me. I'm gonna, one moment, guys. I'm gonna do a cap because I really don't like my hair that long. Boom, better. I don't know what it is. Like I think I want to grow my hair a bit longer, but I'm at that stage that it's really messy and it's really all over the place, and I'm not really vibing with it. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So okay, guys, let's jump into the into the Discord real quick. But first, give me a second because I'm in the middle of moving. Like I don't know if you can see there, like the 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 thing on the back. It's like bare bones. I don't see if the boxes, like you can see them there. Like I'm in the middle of moving out to a new place. I moved literally this weekend, and yeah, I just stopped like working and packaging things. Um, and yeah, I ate two sandwiches, and I'm here like I didn't prepare like the folders for the stream because I like to um now I'm downloading your files and in a way that I can not just look at them from Discord, but drive them into Photoshop and sort of play with them for a bit. You know what I mean? So the feedback is a bit better that way. But give me 1 second, guys. This is week 7, stream 7. Let's go. A stream, and now let's do. Okay, I'll do this in the new file. This is whatever. Okay, and the Photoshop file. Let's again open it. It's just like this. It doesn't matter that much. Okay, let's just let's just hop into the Discord real quick. Let's just hop into the Discord. Let's see what the guys are doing. Okay, let's now Discord changed the. Oh, sorry, I need to. I was uploading stuff to the website. Community pieces, and let's drop those ones on there. We have a few good ones. The good ones, I mean, that are on brief. You know what I mean? I already told you what I feel about pieces being like good or bad. Like, oh, this one's it's off topic. I like that bro like the architecture for the piece. He here my guy just used. Okay, I'm gonna use this one because I feel it's the most on par with the briefing. Here, guy, my guy did another one. Let's go. These ones are a bit off topic. This one was wrong, and this one has an image, but I'll use it just to show you something. Perfect. Now let's jump into Photoshop. Let me see a chat. I lost the chat. Just in the process of growing your hair, and right now you're in that awkward stage, but it'll get better. Yeah, let's hope. What's good, Brazil? Brazil, nice match yesterday, Brazil, but the champion is only one. You know what I mean? It's all love, guys. Okay, I don't know if anyone here watches soccer. Like, doesn't matter. Oh my god, it's okay. It's okay. It was a nice game. It was a nice game. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Let's. Where are my community pieces? Let's start for the one with the most recognizable. Like, it's not that it's wrong, right? Yeah. It's football. It's football. I said soccer because I'm a colonized piece of shit, and I say soccer in English, but it's football. I know what it is. No. The best that there ever was, it's only one, and it's Argentinian. You know what I mean? But let's not get into that. Let's get into the stuff that we are here for, which is design. Let's not dwell on who is the best football player that stepped on earth. You know what I mean? So, okay, football aside. Okay, the point of this exercise, guys, let me switch to the point of the exercise was to add the complexity of text to the ones that we were doing weeks before from the compositions with only the simple shapes, and now we're adding not just adding the matter of text, right, but how we can use constant and variables within the blocks of information of text to establish correlation between those elements, right? And let's move into this camera. And I said that when we're working with text, we usually have like this the constant and variables and things that are pertinent to text or to any composition really, but text specifically, because we have the font families, the weights, we have the alignment, kerning, um, interline spacing, like the justification of the text. All of these variables that we can use to design text can be used to establish rules within our system, right? The assignment here was to create perfectly readable hierarchy in a piece using text, right? Having a very clearly more important stuff, and then the second hierarchy, third hierarchy. Here, it's well done. We know exactly what the first thing is, then the second, then the third, right? And he used image here, but I think this is okay for that premise alone. But the thing with this is that we are not getting those extra like levels of hierarchy to really say, oh, here he's establishing like a rule. You know what I mean? Because, for example, in this piece, I'm gonna rasterize it. I'm gonna, for the sake of working only on the composition, and the actions I'm gonna put here. Sorry, guys, because I'm changing the stream all the time because I'm trying to land on the perfect like fucking configuration. But for this one specifically, let's drop a threshold just to focus only on the text. You know what I mean? And actually, now let's get rid of this image here because we don't really need it. Right? Oh, actually, this works kind of nice because now we have like this all this intentional space here that we can use. But regardless, here he's aligning everything to the left, but this one alone, it's like sort of like it looks like kind of like how do you say, like um I lost the word. Like it's just because, like it's aligned to the center just because I don't have like another hierarchy similar to this to establish maybe some sort of reference that there are other levels in the hierarchy that are also like this. You know what I mean? Like for example, if I grab this one and I make another one, right, and maybe I drop another one here, and then we can start to see that, oh, okay, it's not just a random like block of text that is that is aligned a little bit more to the center. You know what I mean? Like there is like a certain structure that start to tie the entire piece together. And then maybe from this one, I don't know, maybe this one, it has some, maybe this one it has this, right? And this gesture alone is sort of highlighting that specific structure within that hierarchy level, right? So we start to establish these sort of rules within our typographic system that says some text is going to be aligned to the left all the way, some in the center, and maybe that separates some kind of information from other bits of information. You know what I mean? And now, for example, maybe we have this, and we have another package of text that's really small, and it's gonna sit like some sort of annotation that's for these ones. You know, the ones that are aligned more towards the center. Maybe those ones have. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm trying to like that. I don't know what's that. Like here. That's better. I'm just trying to. What's that line there? Well, it doesn't matter. So maybe that packages of text that have the aligning more towards the center, they have these kind of annotations, right, that come with that um, feature as a part of the system. You know what I mean? So with these kind of things, we start to establish the rules, right? Everything looks more systematic now. It's not that kind of random. You know, the ones that are aligned more towards the center have this little bit extra tad of information that is this annotation that we applies to them, right? So maybe I don't know. Let's say this is a show. For sure, for sure. Messi's gonna do back to back work. I don't know. I think he's playing the one next year. Let's hope. Let's focus on design, my guys. But yeah, I was saying maybe to these ones that are aligned a bit more to the middle. Maybe for this one specifically, I would make this copy text a bit smaller. Maybe we can make everything a bit smaller. Let's get rid of this. You can see, guys, that I'm using a grid, but it's really I'm using a grid in a really, really, really loose way. You know what I mean? Like what matter here is not the grid itself, but the relationship we establish within that structure for the elements that are within it. Like, what do I even say? You know what I mean? Like the relationship within the elements is what gives it the grid character, right? And it's not just placing stuff within a line. Sorry, over a line. You know, this one we could make maybe a bit stronger, and maybe we have another level like sort of here, and this could mean, I don't know, whatever. Because when we this that's because that's also one thing. You know what I mean? Like right now it's kind of easy because we are not trying to arrange any information. We're just putting stuff in a way that looks compelling and that looks purposeful, right? We don't have a set of information that we need to put into this specific structure. We're just playing, you know. So enjoy this. You know what you mean? Because this is easy, right? We're just placing stuff in a way that looks more or less intentional, right? So there we have another level of the hierarchy, right? These words right here, that here I'm just using the same word for the sake of practicity, but for the sake of make it practical. But maybe this one, it's gonna be how can I make it? Let's do filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Right? Maybe that one, it's on bold, so it brings attention within that structure of the hierarchy, within that level of hierarchy. We have an accent, right? That's a variable, right? That breaks the constant of that specific hierarchy level. Like, and I know, guys, this sounds like really technical and really out there, but it's really not. Like, these are just simple design criteria for you to think about, and when you start to practice them, you really start to catch up, and it becomes like second nature. It's not like you're thinking about this is more for systematic stuff that's a bit bolder, right? It's for bigger projects, but this also works within the scope of your work itself, right? Like the series and your work as a corpus, or your bigger picture, like body of work, you know what I mean? So this would be like a version of the piece that the the from bro, you know what I mean? I don't know how to speak, sorry. So we went from this to this, you know what I mean? We added more levels to the hierarchy and organized them in a way that reference them again, so we can see that's a hierarchy, and that's a systematic thing, right? It's not just like aligning things to a certain part of the grid just because, and just as one time, this is one. This one's amazing. I really like this piece because it has a lot of hierarchy levels. One thing that I would maybe add to it, right? Because let's say, I don't know, this could easily be like a music festival or a rave or something like that. I don't know, like this is just random text. It looks like it, but let's say, okay, this is the date, the where, the when, the who, and the why, right? So maybe the bands. This is the bands, right? And maybe the bands go like this, right? Or no, like this, something like that. And maybe this one is the headliner. It's gonna be the most important one. So this one we break from the mold, right? From to this one we make something special, and we align it to other part of the grid, maybe this thing, right? And here we establish some sort of variable to the grid that's signaling to the one watching the design that there's something important, right? Other than the from the outside hierarchy, because we have already the most important thing is the title of the poster, right? What's the poster about? But within that hierarchy, the lowest hierarchy, it's not the lowest, sorry, but within the hierarchy itself of the people that are playing on the festival, we have ways of signaling within that hierarchy what's important and what not, right? And it doesn't have to be like putting it in a vibrant color or underlining it or anything. We do it with composition. You know what I mean? So this would be like my thing with this one. I like it. I'm gonna do like this. I'm gonna upload all of this to the Discord. Then, sorry, to the Discord, to the Patreon. This piece in specifically, like the file that I'm working here for the Patreons. And yeah, but other than that, you can see it here. It's not like it's super crazy. And the other one, oh yeah, it was here. It's just for a before and after. That one, oh, I like that he did like this is amazing. This is such a great piece. Super simple, but you can see how the structure like puts it together really nicely, and how it's really readable. Like the hierarchy levels, the hierarchy levels are so clear and so well managed that it gives you this like sort of uh, it's like visual AS, ASMR, how ASMR, sorry. Uh, I had it easier like in Spanish, ASMR, but ASMR. Uh, because it's so cohesive and the colors go really well together. This is a great piece. This printed would go so hard. Like it looks like the cover of a really niche Japanese design magazine, something like that. I really like it. So well, we have that. And sorry, I spaced out for a second. What more? What more? This one from Bro, from I forget the name. Is Consumed by Instinct, one of the Patreons. This one's a real G, an OG. Sorry, everyone's real G, but he's been here quite a while. And yeah, this is great. This works. It has the hierarchies. It has the. Let me drop. Let me duplicate this into. I'm gonna drop like a threshold over everything just to get a better, a clearer view of the of this, so I can more easily like play around with it. You know what I mean? So this one's great. This one's great. One thing that I would maybe change about it is that, for example, out of line. Okay, this is all random stuff. Let's not forget about it because I see the out of line and I see the date, and the date is a thing that there's where you have to use like your common sense. You know what I mean? Because numbers are not the same as letters, and maybe this is the same hierarchy level, right? But the numbers by themselves, your brain, just because they are numbers, is gonna put it on a different like hierarchy. You know that if they were letters, like maybe let's try. Maybe if I grab this, what happens if I make it bigger like this? Right here we have pretty balanced. This one I like. No. This that's more of a personal taste thing. I don't see that's a line. I don't know. It's supposed to be like, yeah, that's a line. Yeah, there is something odd here with the counter shape of the letters. Let me show you something really quick. Let's do solid color white. Oh, and he justified it to the right. Make it better. Make it bolder. And let's close the interline. And here there is no really, you can optically and you can like mathematically sort of um, adjust the interspace and the kerning between the letters. But one rule of thumb is you need to look at the space between the letters and see if it's constant, like between each of the letters. You know what I mean? It's something that you need to adjust your eyes for it. For example, you see the space between the D, the negative space within the D. Like if I press Alt and with the arrows, I can move the specific interline within the specific interline within the block of the block of text itself, right? And like that, I can begin to adjust letter by letter till it looks right. You know what I mean? This is something you need to play with to really get the hang of it. Yeah. I'll show you how to. Here, T Bubble is asking how do you usually feel or make up words when you want to design shit from scratch. Any tips? Usually, let me usually when I want to design things from scratch, I have an idea for the poster. If I want to just make a composition, I'll use ChatGPT. Like make me filler text for a poster in the style of Lorem Ipsum, and I said like a topic. Make me filler text about, I don't know, philosophy or some book or whatever, right? That's if I want to, let's say I want to make just filler words for a composition that I want to make because I want to try something, and it's not that I have a really specific idea for it. But sorry, let's go back to what I was trying to explain to you. Like to adjust this the spacing between the characters, if you press Alt and then with the arrows, you can move individually, right, from letter to letter. And this is not like exact science. Like you need to gauge it and use your sort of intuition to tell if the spacing between the letters is correct, at least for the for the kind of size you're going. Here in this specific word, the space between the S and the T, if the letters don't collapse, you can see it's really, if I leave it without the letters collapsing, you can see the space is too big in comparison to the other letters. So what do? I can maybe bring the S in to match the counter shape of the other letters, or I can push it out and then go to the other letters and also push them out. You know what I mean? And this way it starts to look a bit more balanced. So check at the shapes and counter shapes of your text so it looks more balanced, right? It looks like the text is it's more balanced to the eye. So you don't have stuff like this. For example, you have this one that's really close, this one's even closer, just for no reason. Maybe when you don't load a free typeface, these things don't come like really dialed in. You know what I mean? Great typography. You know that type that when you look at it, you go like, oh, you can't tell what it is that makes you go like that. Is this like it's so locked in, the shapes and counter shapes, the balance within the typography. Like this is the work, right? That looks really like it's just the spacing. Nah, but this is what makes typography have that really like wholesome effect. You know what I mean? So actually, let me show you. Um, I don't know if I can show you. I don't know if I don't know if I can show you, no, but I can show you from the PC itself. Where is the? Do you see my screen? Sorry, I was. This gets a all this crazy shit. This one. This is the poster I did for Natural 20. And what am I doing? Actually, I can just show you here. One second. Mm-hmm. Mm. Do you see a poster there? This text is just. Sorry, I lost the chat. This text, the thing that it has for it, like the typography is just a type that I used, and I just morphed it a bit to give it that shape. But the space between the letters themselves was fucked. The typography was a free one. Actually, it's the one that I use for my logo, but I modified it. Right, I gave it that wave like effect, and also played a lot. For example, you see this T here, this thing here, this was a bit shorter, and the W go all the way to the top, and I cropped it, and I make that space between the lip of the T and the W where it got, like to match the rhythm of all the other counter shapes in the logo. You know what I mean? Here the R is actually stretched, so this like finished in the top part or the R of the R matches the indentation here the A has, right? And I could do that because I play with it when it was in the wave form, so you don't notice it that much here. But if the type was horizontal, you would see the R being bigger, and it would kind of like break the logo. But in this context it works like really well, really. But all the work that this typography has is that it's really tight, and it's really well balanced, you know what I mean? So it's not that you need to be a really crazy typographer or anything like that. You just need to pay attention to the forms, the letter form. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe when you're working with something like this, you just type it out, and straight from the text editor it comes like this. I don't know. It happens that some typographies, they don't have the interletter alignment like super great, and it just looks like whatever, right? So you come in and pressing alt with the arrows, you adjust it by hand, and it tends to look much better. You see this part, the S and the T, it's breaking my head because everything I do, it looks too far, and like this I don't really vibe with it. It works better like this. And also you need to look at it from afar. One thing that you can do also, sort of squint your eyes so you see like the blur of text, and that also helps to see it like as like a more like an entire unit. Yeah, 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 yeah. Right now we're trying to focus on just the proper composition and all of that, you know what I mean? But for sure we're gonna apply some paper texture to this bitch. Like that. You see? Can you tell it? Like it looks a lot tighter, you know what I mean? And also we can adjust the vertical so it matches the spacing we have, like that. Oh, it was actually the same typography, or no? No, I guess not. Let's change it to red. Oh, stand at. Stand out. Ah, okay, okay, está bien. It's okay what I. Okay, he has like this shape here that adds kind of a lot. But you see the difference? Can you see the difference? Here in mine, the O is kind of more like that. It's better. But can you see, guys, that mine looks more tighter, like the text itself? I'm not saying it's better, but the type itself, it's better. It's not a matter of contrast. I think the contrast is kind of the same for both. I'm just talking about the feeling you get from watching the text alone, right? The spacing between the characters. Yes, I think it's a bit more balanced in mine. Like that is better. But yeah, regardless, what I'm trying to say is that pay attention to that also. Like for example, in this one, you see where the U and the T are really, really close together, but almost touching, but not really touching. Like pay attention to that and in how's it and pay attention to that and how it feels. So apart from that, yeah, he has really nice and really clear hierarchy levels. Works amazing. I like that he, you see, guys, this what I was saying. He made like a text, like a all right, like full blown paragraph text, and with the bold, it's bringing within that hierarchy level the the accent, right? Where he's saying, oh, and within that this hierarchy, this is important. You know what I mean? Like within in the context of the poster, what's important, of course, it's the title, right? But again, within the hierarchies themselves, you can say, oh, and within that this hierarchy, this is important. Saludos desde Chile. Gracias, amigo. Saludos, Argentina. Okay, moving back to this. Yeah, this is great. I like this is the maybe for example, if we could grab maybe this and we had another like paragraphs of something, right? But maybe this one it's a bit more up to here. Here I'm just doing it really quick, guys, just to try if we added like some other. What's happening if I? Here I might have gone overboard. The original was much more controlled, but I'm trying just to add some semblance of repetition within the hierarchy levels to sort of show that this is a level of information that is gonna repeat elsewhere. You know what I mean? Like it's not just a one-off within the system itself. Like it's some sort of, I don't know, like just one thing that appears once, right? Like, and this is just for the sake of the exercise, guys. Like of course you can do whatever you want when you're doing a poster and when you're doing any sort of piece, but for the sake of the exercise, it's nice if you try to add that, for example, from your title. From your title, maybe, of course, the title appears only one, and then the second hierarchy level maybe appears 2 times or 3 times, and then the fourth one appears 6 times. You know what I mean? and and I'll show you when I make my piece, so try to show you that better. But okay, we have this one, looks great. I'm gonna put all this within a group. What other did we had? Let's go, my guy. Thank you for supporting. um there was another one. I did reacted to Void Star, or did I not? Void Star, okay. This dude uploaded two. Let me see which one I'm gonna react, because both were fire. Like, which one do you wanna see? This one or this one? Like this one or this one? Lucio Rimoldi, let's go. From Argentina? Let's go, Void Star. De Argentina, el brother. Pero entendés inglés, ¿no? ¿Entendés inglés, amigo? I'm asking if he understands English. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, but regardless, I promise I'm gonna do like a full Spanish stream. And who here doesn't speak anything of English? It's just watching just because. I'm just trying to gauge how many people. But I guess if you're watching the stream up to this point, it's because you speak English. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, let me look at the both. I'm gonna react to this one because this one has something really interesting that I think it could add to a conversation. This one's really great because, do you remember, guys, the first that I did? Like, let's say we don't have this one, right? The first one that we did, that was this one. You see how he has, there are two of these packages of text are aligned to the left, and one is just like hanging in the middle, like just chilling there, right? But here he has two of each, so we are able to correlate that. Oh, okay, this, like this specific combination of the variables of text, I have it in other place as well, so that could mean something, right, of the information that we are giving, right? Maybe um, it's another level, or it's for other kind of information, right? And since it's left align, sorry, right align, like you could put it anywhere really, and you wouldn't confuse it for another level. That it doesn't create that sort of confusion, let's say. Or you can see it as, that's okay that it goes aligned to the left and in another, like, corridor of the grid, let's say. Like, I could put this like here, for example, in it would also work, and I could put maybe some of these levels, put it, I don't know, here, and it would kind of work also, you know. Maybe to this one, maybe I would make these blocks of text just for the sake of this poster alone. I'll make them shorter. Oh no, let's leave that as it is. Just to add some variety to the composition itself. And another thing that I liked is that these paragraphs that are like justified, like on the hierarchy level, like the width of the column is not within the system itself. Like the thing that's systematic, it's that is justified all the way through. Like you could make another block of this text that is the entire width of the poster and would still remain to that piece of, maybe not hierarchy, but to that level of information. You know what I mean? Because it's justified the entire way. So that constant between the within the text design elements like remains constant, right? Yeah, this one is great. It has also the little details. This one is great. I would add also maybe to one of these. Maybe I would do like a bold, you know, just to make one of them pop. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is really great. Congrats. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna get just a bit of water. I'm gonna get something to drink. Can you hear the music? Do you hear the music, guys, or not? Oh, there. 1 second. I'm gonna grab something to drink. Oh, sorry. The mic was the mic was off. Sorry. Let's go, my guy. So glad it was helpful. I was saying that I like how the sun coming in the window like clothes. Focus. Well, that's it. Let me stop the music here. Okay. For this one, let me open in Illustrator. 1 second. I want to open my chat GPT. Can you see my chat? For example, here when I'm trying to come up with just filler text for this kind of exercises, I would say something like I'm like trying to actually explain to make a composite. I need filler text in the style of Lorem Ipsum, but with more character. Can you give me a list of titles, short paragraphs, subtitles, annotations, captions, and list of words around the concept of, I don't know, let's do whatever, like matrix and the simulation. You see, and here we have everything. Of course, guys, this is an absolute shortcut for this kind of exercise. I wouldn't recommend to do this on the daily because it's gonna replace your own thinking. You know what I mean? Like, this is a shortcut that can be really expensive for you in the long run, right? Like, for the sake of this exercise, it's handy and whatnot, but I would really try to come up with, if you're trying to make like a full blown piece and really care about it, and work on it, like, this is the thing that you should be working in. You know what I mean? Not letting an AI like sort of spew it for you. We are letting it do this now because this is not the focus of the exercise now. You know what I mean? Because also, if you already have your own ideas and whatnot, it's easier to prompt it and to see what is good and what's not. Right now, I'm not paying attention to what it says. Like, I'm just one text to copy and paste. You know what I mean? But if you have your own criteria, then it will be easier for you to realize from what it says here if anything it's of use to you or not. You're not just brainlessly just copying and pasting, right? Now we're gonna do it because we're not focusing on the words. I just want them to as placeholder, but I don't want to use lorem ipsum. You know what I mean? So now let's grab whatever awakening in the code. Let's put it here. And let's grab this paragraph. Wait, let's put it here. Right. And first let's go to our poster and to our poster. So to our poster, and let's say if I go back to, where was my chat GPT window? Here. Captions. Simulacrum. I like simulacrum. There's a book that's called Simulacra and Simulacrum. It's the book that, when they go to look for Neo before going to the club in the Matrix, that Trinity says to him, "Follow the white rabbit." he opens like a book and gives the the disc to the dudes that were hiring Neo, because he was a hacker. The book he opens, it's called Simulacra and Simulacrum, and I haven't read it still, but I have it on my list. And it's a book about the simulation and whatnot. But it's the one that it's one that the directors of the Matrix read, and it's supposed to be like a really great book on that subject. Cool, like trivia, so you could drop on a party. Uh, Actually, let's work the entirety of the text in here. Simulacra and simulacra and simulacrum. And here I'm just trying to just develop all the hierarchy levels in a way that you can see it a bit more clearly. You know what I mean? When I'm talking about the variables and all of that. And this one, let me move it here. Color, put it there. Because I haven't like set up the proper Illustrator scene. Okay. So here let's watch some typography. This one I like. Let's bring the interline. Simulacrum. Sorry to bother. May I know if you also rate viewers Pinterest? No, no, no. I don't rate viewers Pinterest. And I here I'm not rating. I'm just giving feedback on a series of exercises that we're doing over on the Discord channel. My guy. Mm, oh, this one is nice. I didn't mean to sort of start playing with typography like this. but it is what it is. Sometimes you get carried away, and you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, this I like. It doesn't matter. I'm getting carried away. Like I was trying to start to see if it meant what it meant, if you could read simulacra and simulacrum, but it doesn't matter. Like I just said to you. Oh no, where are my layers? Those there. It kind of went away. Super odd. So this will be our title or our main stuff. You know, we can play with it later. And then we could add like some kind of subtitles, or we could try to make another level of the within the hierarchy. I like this typography. Let's set it to bold. This one let's set to Helvetica. Something quick. This one thing that you can do to sort of use the. Someone was asking in the chat how you can use the golden ratio. The golden ratio was 13.4. So one thing you can do. Let me see if I'm remembering this correctly. What was pi? I yeah, but that's in inches, right? Or what's the metric for that? What is 1 point in relation to pi? Oh, it's the golden ratio. I thought they were related. I thought that pi. No, no, no. It's mathematics. It's not like metric. It's just the plain number. I got confused. I remember. I don't know why I thought that pi and the golden ratio were related. Like I don't know why. Yeah. One thing that you can do is that, for example, let's say we have our text that's in, let's make it 80 point, let's say, and we want to make, and we can divide it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pi is the circumference of the circle. Like it has nothing to do. I can misconstrue the terms. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So one thing you can do here is you go to the text, like your point size for your typography, and you go slash one, you go slash 1.618, right? And that divides it for the golden ratio. So that is how you scale text based on the golden ratio. You just go to the point text and slash 1.618, right? And if I go again, slash 1.618, right? And maybe this could be the size of our other text, right? So maybe we can do I'm doing it really ghetto right now, right? And if I want to get the smaller kind of text, I go, I want to shrink it through the golden ratio. I go slash m, again slash 1.618, right? And it can go again slash 1.618, and this is 12. So this I can, it's already on 12. So how's it going, my guy? Yeah, we're just playing. So let's say this, that for this level of the hierarchy, we're gonna use these paragraphs, and we are gonna justify them to the left, and the title, the titles of this are gonna be linked because they're gonna be aligned, right? So this is the way we're gonna use for this specific block in within the hierarchy to link the title with the content, right? Actually, I don't know what I'm putting into Photoshop. Like I could just design it here, and that's it. You know what I mean? Right. So the system is gonna be like this. No, where's the other chat? Here. Mm, Actually, I kind of like if they're a bit longer, and these ones maybe they are too. This type I like, but I think it's too spaced. Oh, and this one we're gonna put in bold, just to create like this sense of difference between this hierarchy level itself. Maybe we can add another level. Mm, My Illustrator is right. So maybe now let's say we want to add annotations for that specific like subtitle within the poster or to that level of information. So maybe the annotations will always be like let's do it's the same typography that this subtitle, but let's do it in book and let's line it to the other side, right, to the left. And maybe when there is an annotation that's pertinent to that specific level of the hierarchy, the one above it, maybe it's all within that line below it. You know what I mean? So in the row that's below the subtitle that we want to use the annotations for. So we're gonna do it like that, and also maybe the color it's on this sort of grayed out, maybe like this, and it's like so. You know what I mean? Maybe this other subtitle only has one annotation, right? And maybe this one, which is in the system, also has one annotation, but it's like this. What happens if I turn this around? Right? I feel that it's missing like an intermediate hierarchy level between these subtitles and the simulacra and simulacrum. So let's do just some big type. Like I think I like this Q. This one, let's bring them down like here. So the key for the things that I'm trying to have in mind for this is that a nice typographic system or any design system has to have like a real nice semblance of repetition. So you can see the pattern, right? It becomes sort of predictable, right? And then we add this nice like layers of variables to make it dynamic. So and it's interesting visually. Maybe this level doesn't have it. I'm not feeling this typography. This one I like more. maybe this I take it all the way. No, if it breaks, if I take it out. Now I would need some other level. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm kind of liking the thing that I'm not liking about what this that I'm doing is that it's too monotone. But I guess that for the sake of the exercise, it's good. I'm just not liking the piece itself, right? But for the exercise, I think it's good. But regardless of that, what I'm interested in is that you understand what we are trying to do, right? It's just generate pieces where text is the main focus, and um, we add several ways of differentiate the levels of information using just the variables of text, right? Alignment, font family, the weight, the spacing, right? Using all of these things, we start to create distinct systematic styles within the text, so we can start to parse the information that we need to communicate through this piece, or it could be another piece. Maybe it's a signaling system of the subway, like the one on the metro, or maybe you need to design some signaling for a company, or it's a brochure, or it's a poster, right? Business cards, whatever it is. This is more technical, but for applied design and things that are more common pieces of work you might get, other than for maybe things that are more artistic. But this is also useful for that, right? Because you can then start to think of your design work in like how it fits within a bigger system of pieces, right? Because then let's say you need to make like a line of merch for a client, right? Even within that, you'll still gonna have constant and variables, right? You can start to think of the design elements you create for that specific collection, and you create this entire like toolkit of assets that you created for this client, and yet then you can start to put them little by little, like making a salad. You know what I mean? You start to put a little bit here, a little bit that, paying attention in not repeating yourself too much, right? And this adds dynamism and novelty and variability to the design system you create. So it's not all the same, but you can see all the pieces and you see the system. You know what I mean? This one, let's add a stroke so it looks a bit more bold. And for the one that signals, let's do like that, you see? And how within that system itself, it sort of pushes you to look to this one, right? Because it's the one that's different. Wait, let's see what happens if I bring this simulacrum all the way to the top, to the bottom. Right, it looks too scattered. I want to create some negative space somewhere in the piece, but I really don't want to. Like this I like, but I'm missing something here in the composition. Where's my... Let's lose my windows. by like. Even like that, it looks a bit more controlled. This works better, and let's see if this one's in Helvetica works better. Okay, guys, but something like this, I feel works for the sake of the exercise. I'm not loving the piece too much, but for the sake of building this that we were talking about earlier, like within the design system and building that constant and variables using typography, I think it works well. Right, we sort of establish like this would be like the like this, for example, would be like our main, like our go-to, like the main building block of our system of information, where we have like this subtitle, whatever it is, with this sort of symbol notation, with a caption, and then some annotations that could be about that article or that subject or whatever, and then off of that one we start to build the other ones, right? Maybe this one has fewer notations, and this one, because it's like an accent, it has in bold, and also the symbologic notation, it's inverted with the outline, and the alignment is to the right, right? So this way we make an accent of it, and we make it the most important within the bunch, and we highlight it without the need really of putting all in the same way that the others, and make it bolder, you know what I mean? Like we highlight it using all of our typographic toolkit to let the viewer know that here is happening something important, and this information it's important, you know. So I guess the key takeaway of the exercise is thinking of all the variables you have to use of text that could serve you in a way of you organizing your information, and letting the viewer know something about your design, right? Where to look and where not to look, and what's important, and when something's changing. You know what I mean? So yeah. And now let's take this to Photoshop. Oh, here here the composition is a bit different because the size of the poster was a bit off. So let's grab this. I like a bit more this negative space that we have here. Yeah, textures are, but you see the piece already works. It's already pleasing to see, and now we can add texture and whatnot, and not even texture. Like, take a look at this, guys. If we just grab just one color, right, something like this, the piece already changes like pretty tremendously. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get rid of these whites. Right, the piece here already changes pretty drastically. Let me see what was the image size. No, this is too small. We need to make it bigger because I'm gonna apply my action here and it's gonna break it. What happens if I give this? Oh yes, my guy, you're using. I'm using that action too much in every piece I made last month. That's great because the Patreons are being the test driver for that action. I'm glad it's when I release the full pack, it's gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? Full pack is gonna be crazy. I think it works better like this, to be honest. And just for the sake of this, my guys, let's say, just for the sake of the poster, you know what I mean? I'm gonna grab just one from the. This is the assembly graphics pack. Oh no, what did I open? This is the master sheet with everything. Here I'm cheating now. I'm adding more levels but using images. That images by themselves tend to be more pregnant. Pregnant in the pregnant. In Spanish it says pregnante, but in English I'm not sure what's the. Let's ask our bro. Uh, like pressing. It's like pressing or urgent. Like images tend to be a bit more pressing than text. Like we tend to go more towards images. I feel like my impression is that. Now let's bring this piece Now I'm just painting on the layer below of the graphic just to separate it from the dude, but at the same time doing an accent. You know what I mean? If it was all just white, all just the lines, then it's the same in the entire graphic, you know. But it's the same concept as with the text. If to the cable I'm doing a background and I'm painting it with white, then that's a variable within the constant of the drawing itself, right? It's all line work, but the cable header it's painted, so that means it's important, you know. But of course here I'm making it for the sake of the composition because I know it will be interesting, right? The difficult part becomes starts when I try to give it meaning, right? When I try to have an idea and make a piece that's trying to communicate something, that is when things get a bit more difficult, right? Once you start to get the hang of some semblance of visual like language to make things that look interesting, it's easy, you know. Do this for enough time and it becomes like second nature. The problem, and not the problem really, but the thing that it really takes time, and not just time, but doing the active taking the active time to sort of think of what you're trying to say and what your piece is trying to communicate. There is when it becomes not so easy to make something interesting, you know what I mean? Boom. And we break it even more because everything is perpendicular, everything is perfectly aligned, you know. And then if we take this and we make it boom, it becomes even more pregnant, more pressing, sorry, like that. Boom. And just like that, my guys, just like that. And I know I cheated. I used an image, but that's because I suck at design and I couldn't make it with just text. Some of you in the Discord, you made wonderful stuff with only text. Like, you had the one up on me, my guys. Like, if I can make this shit and you can make something more interesting with just text, I had to use an image. Then you had it. You have it in you, my guys. What can I say? You're pure breed ninjas. You know what I mean? So, what was I about to do? Oh yeah, gradient map and texture. I wasn't about to experiment. I was. I'm just gonna do. I'm gonna do my trick. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do my thing. Oh, guys, and I have some textures to show you that this one the patrons are gonna get first, of course, but I'll release a free pack for this. You know how it is. I won't ever try to not give stuff for free, but bro got it. You know what I mean? Where was it? Oh yeah, Jap Japanese Japanese textures. This one is one I just took like with the cell phone, but I'm gonna scan this like properly. Boom, boom. Boom. And actually, let's take it here. And also, let's drop a gradient map because why not? No, there, there. Boom, boom, boom. This one, and I think I told you this in the last stream. Like gradient maps in soft light just hit different, you know. Now, why is it that there? Boom, my guys. Sub brosker. Here we have it. Here we have it. I almost lost it, eh? I almost lost it. I almost lost it. At the middle of it, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if this is working. If there, bro is asking if there is a tutorial for the emboss effect. I'm gonna kill you guys. I'm gonna kill guys. Bro is asking if there's a tutorial. We are live. Come watch this one, my guy. Realistic 3D emboss effect. Here you have it, literally. And of course, supports if you already follow, you know what it is. Okay, back to the piece. I think this is it, my guys. There is not really that much that we can do. Let me get rid of this. I'm gonna put it in a group and I'm gonna play with the opacity in the group. That works. And one thing that I like to do is let's put all of this within a group, and let's bring another texture. Where was it? Paper. Oh no, you know what? Let's do like a mask, and on the mask, already I already told you guys. This is from the acid brush, the tutorial. Let's grab some acid brushes. You have the free acid brush pack on the website. You already know how it is. So let's grab this one. Let's paint with black so we can hide stuff. Oh shit. Why isn't it hiding? What am I doing wrong? It should hide stuff, not show stuff. What am I doing wrong, guys? Oh, because the background is here too. So if I take the background, I put the, what am I doing? There. Now, yes. But let's do this. But let's do it far less opacity, like 13%. And you see now, if I do click, 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 you get that really nice click, 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 click. You get that really nice, like sort of distressed. So move it a bit. Mm, 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 mm. And now really subtle with the textures. And then we have it, my guys. Boom. It's finished. It's done. It's diggity dong dong. Ooh. I'm really tensed. Do you like it, guys? Let me know what you think. I don't know how to speak. Let me know what you think about it, my guys. How you doing, Total Psycho? What's good, my guy? So nice to see people shining periodically to the streams. Oh, I hit my toe with the I hit my toe with the chair. Ah. Yo guys, who here? So this is the final piece. Hope you like it. But let's chat for a bit, my guys. What's good, gang? What? Who here is from? Anyone here that's from New York or close to New York or from Texas? Let's go. Let's go, my guy. I want to see you all trying the shit that you saw me do or that I sort of talked about. But let's get it. These are all subjects and themes that you need really need to practice. You know what I mean? Like repetition, repetition, and it starts to feel like super second nature, and then you will start to focus on the other stuff. You know what I mean? But you saw how the I wasn't really feeling the typography, but the typography work is solid, right? All the hierarchy that is solid because when I added the textures and the graphics and all of that, it just skyrocketed, right? It just skyrocketed because the foundation was good and the foundation was there, right? If the type was shit, no amount of texture or nothing really was gonna save it. You know what I mean? Because it was good. It wasn't my taste. Like I like to do this kind of stuff, right? But the type work and the hierarchies, all of that was there and was good. It wasn't really to my taste, my innate taste of what I visually and aesthetically like. You know what I mean? But once the that core fundamental stuff is it's there, then you can do whatever you like, right? Then you can even break it. You know how it is. What's the quote? um, get the fact get the facts straight and then distort them at your leisure. Get the facts straight, then distort them at your leisure. Yeah, I had a teacher, a drawing teacher, that told us that because we were studying like to draw comics and stuff like that, and he always told us that like when you see the Hulk, you know the Hulk, like from Avengers, like he has muscles that don't really exist. You know what I mean? Like the deltoids, like that he has like five rows of shoulder like muscle junctions and it's impossible to have that kind of musculature. But because they know how the body works, they can do whatever they want. Right? Design is kind of the same. When you get the fundamental structures right and you fundamentally understand how it works, then you can really do whatever the fuck you want, right? That's why in the beginning, when in the really purist, like they told me this in school also that don't stretch type, right? When you're learning, don't stretch type because if you really stretch it, then it becomes like a thing because you when everybody's telling you not to stretch it, stretching the type becomes like a statement in and of itself. You know what I mean? Like it becomes like, ooh, like he's trying to do something there, right? You're not doing it out of ignorance, but out of trying to say something, right? Then it becomes a design thing, not a 90 design thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of abstract, but that's what it means. You know what I mean? You do things because it's supposed to look like you're trying to say something, you know? But I going back to the don't stretch type, you're not supposed to stretch it because maybe when you're just starting out, you don't have that still that polished eyes, that polished eyes and nuance to sort of understand the inner workings of a typography, and you're just breaking everything just for the stretching type so it fits a certain spot that you want to place it in. You know what I mean? Hmm. No, I don't have a degree. I dropped out of design school. I studied at the the Faculty of Design and Urbanism of Buenos Aires. It's one of the best schools for design, I would say, in the world. I guess, like, let me check. The last time I checked was 42 in the world. Um, let's ask ChatGPT. Oh, in Argentina it's the first, but in the worldwide it's at 400 place. Fuck, I remember when I did my video on the movie poster, it was 42. 42. Fuck. Or last, we are currently under a pretty heavy neoliberal president, and he for sure fucked the university. So that's great. You know what I mean? But hey, we are here, and I'm trying to extend all of this stuff to you guys. So that's what I mean. Also, like, I I consulted like with a business like specialist to sort of try things for the website and whatnot. And I told him like, yo, I want to do this for free, and he said like, nah, you should charge for this and whatnot. And I said, no, I want to do it for free because this that I'm telling you, you know what I mean? And 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 he told me that things that are free sometimes people don't appreciate it, or think that are low, or think that are um, low quality because they are free, you know. And that's true. That's true sometimes. Like sometimes if I want to get something, I rather pay. If I have the money, I rather pay for it than to get it for free. And and not in the sense like, oh, if someone's gonna give me a pair of Jordans for free, I'll gladly take them. That's not what I'm asking. But when you're not sure of what you're getting, sometimes to get it for free or to offer it for free can be counterproductive. So I guess the streams and all of that are for all of you to experience it, and judge by yourself, right? But we are talking design like for real here, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to teach you real stuff that I learned, you know. So it's not that this is some low quality shit or whatever. The community is real. What we're doing are real exercises, and I'm showing you how they apply, like, really and actually, you know what I mean? So that's what I mean over on the Discord when I say like, like, take it seriously, you know what I mean? Take it seriously, get to the assignments, you know, practice, because that's the thing that ultimately is gonna make you like not great, but there is a time then where the exercises are not longer gonna that like stimulate you. Like, it's nice to once in a while revisit them, even for me, right? Because I don't do stuff like this all the time. Like, this amount of hierarchy levels I don't tend to use in my pieces. I'm in a stage that I try to be more copyrighty with my work, and working more around concepts and stuff like that. That's a bit more semantic, let's say. And and yeah, I guess that's what I mean. Like, just enjoy the community and sort of, I don't want to say appreciate it because it sounds like so self-aggrandizing, but I guess I'm just trying to say I'm doing this for free because I had it for free. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that's low quality. Yeah, Casiel, it's saying it's 73 actually. Let me check on Google. Fadu ranking worldwide. Uh, I think this is what my friend saw. That's from 2018. Let me see if it's 2025. Top universities. Oh, this one is the one that I found last time, the last ranking that I checked. This was the last ranking that I saw. Let me see if University of Buenos Aires. Where here we have it, 71. It was actually higher. It's 71. This is June last year. Yeah, around from when I did my video. Like, it's still to be top 100. It's a lot. Last time I checked for last year, it was 42. 42. And this is the University of Buenos Aires, like in the total. I don't know if. Oh, it's because University of Buenos Aires, it has a lot of departments, but it's a really nice university overall. But I know that for design, it ranks even higher because it's because it's better for design. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's exactly the case, but I know that it's supposed to be better for design. Let me go back to full screen. I think you teach better than my unit teachers. I'm at a second year and we did not work with these fundamentals yet. That concerns me. What do you think? I think that one thing is to go to a graphic design school, and there are other kinds of schools that teach you more in the sense of applied graphic design, right? They'll teach you Photoshop, they'll teach you Illustrator, and they'll jump right into applied stuff, like first thing they'll teach you how to make like a business card or some bullshit like that, something like, or we'll make an app, you know what I mean? Like, they'll jump into the applied stuff because it has, usually they are private schools, so usually they need to situate the computer that you're paying your quota for, right? So it's their main selling point, right? We learn with computer, and already that learning directly on the computer, I don't know, it because when the computer, I think it's only good when you start to practice it and you break that barrier of your knowledge of the tool, right? Because until you're really proficient with the tool will limit you. You know what I mean? So what we used to do when we studied typography, we, when we used to do when we studied typography, we would print all the words, print them, like we designed a sheet with a lot of different blocks of text, and the thing that I was showing you that we did for this piece in a different typography, different sizes, right? And we print those out. We go to the print merchant, the print shop, and said, print me this sheet in half size, quarter size, So we then go to class, and with um, with glue, we would cut all our prints, and we start to make compositions. This same that we're doing now, we made it by hand, by cutting paper and what placing and cutting the text and whatnot. And that made it really intuitive to really play and to start to get our hands dirty with typography and with the materials themselves, right? We are not hang in that, oh, how do I copy, how do I paste in Photoshop, how do I shrink this at the same time that I move it? Like, it's just a clack, cut it, paste it, boom, boom, boom. We're moving really fast. We're making, I don't know, in one class we could make like um a bunch of pieces in a day. You know what I mean? We would maybe go out of class and we made 15 of these. You know what I mean? And then I would go home and I have photos of this. I'm making a video about it, but I have photos of my house when I was studying design, and I had all my walls with the things that I did. So so yeah, I think that's a really intuitive way to get to know um, and get to know to just to that sorry to you need to do a lot of repetition to get to know like the feeling of the typography. You know what I mean? Because when we're doing these things with cutting paper with the glue and everything, we didn't have a grid. We're just pasting stuff and cutting it by feel. So you learn in a very different way. It's not like you're in a computer and everything is it's sort of isometric and perfect, right? So you learn typography by a more intuitive way. What I try to do here, what I do in the computer, it has a lot of that spirit because I just you see how I work. I grab with the selection tool and I move it around. I enlarge it. I do the same that I used to do with paper and scissors, but I do it digitally, right? I don't get into the fancy whatnot when I'm in the composition phase, right? Because I'm trying to show you composition stuff, that it's fundamental stuff, right? That's what makes the piece. Then I jump into the textures and all of that. It's cool, I love it, but the thing that's gonna make your work not suck, it's that. What's bro saying? Graphic design school ain't going to teach you shit. You as an artist shouldn't set yourself in that one path. Everyone's mind is different, especially an artist mind. Graphic design school, it depends on the school, my guy, and it depends as you. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's like Asel is saying, but again, I think Casiel actually went to. He's from my school. Like he went to uni with me. I met him in uni. We went to a very special uni. You know what I mean? The classrooms are all like it's a big table and everyone corrects everyone. Even the teacher says. I remember one teacher said to me like, "You will learn from me and I will learn from you." Like the power structure in the school in the classroom, it's a bit more circular. It's not like a pyramid. It's not like the prophet says and whatever the prophet says goes. You know what I mean? There's a lot of debate. There's a lot of cross referencing and learning from each other. You know what I mean? So yeah, 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 he was a great teacher. And yeah, yeah, yeah. We also were to the hardest. Like when you go to that school, you get to choose what you have. Like different, you have the assignments like typography, morphology, but then you get to choose. Like there is typography Gabriele or typography Cosgasha that were the professors, and you could subscribe to whatever you wanted to go, right? And the ones that we go to were the hardest ones. That the work ethic that they're gonna steal on you, it's crazy. Like there was no fucking around. Like they drove us fucking crazy. You know what I mean? You have to excel at those classes. You have to live and breathe design. Yeah, but I don't know what you think my opinion is. I'm not saying university it's good or it's bad. I'm just saying the set of exercises and skills that I got from and it's not that I got them from uni because I know a lot of people that went to uni and didn't get that good. It's not in uni. Okay, okay. It's not that uni itself is it's like that. It's how you take it and the amount of work you put into it. Like regardless, I'm sure a lot of nice graphic designers came out of private teach you Photoshop degrees. You know what I mean? I don't know what Casiel said. Yeah, but yeah, I guess graphic design schools are are a bit out there because the study plan also it's a bit iffy. It changes a lot from school to school. It's not like a set path, you know what I mean? And it's changing all the way. But I think to focus on the fundamentals and the things that are gonna stay the same even across disciplines, you know what I mean? Because these that we are seeing right now, the fundamentals of typography, the fundamentals of composition, all of that information carries away when you go to video editing, when you go to photography, right? Art direction, right? All of this stuff, uh, it translates into other disciplines as well, even to fucking cooking. You want to design like a, you open a restaurant and you want to design like the menu, right? There needs to be hierarchy in that as well. There needs to be rhythm to that as well. There needs to be a character to that as well. And those, all of those things are design fundamentals, right? Here we are tackling them from a graphic perspective because we are graphic designers. But in architecture, it's all the same. All these fundamental principles to guide and to curate sort of an experience are all the same across all disciplines. Music, it's all these things, so the better you get acquainted to them and you get to understand them in a more fundamental level, the more you can extrapolate to different fields, you know what I mean? And that's, I think, it's the beauty of design itself, right? In graphic design, it's such a wonderful, wholesome like career, I feel, because you get to touch on different fields in a way that not much other disciplines tend to do, you know what I mean? Like you get to work with a client that, I don't know, has a pottery store, and if you want to do a good job, you need to get a bit into pottery and find out the intricacies maybe of that, so you can put that information into the design, right? Or into the direction that certain piece of work needs, so yeah, I think that's the beauty of design. But to get really good at it, I think that what we were talking just now, we need to get really acquainted to these like fundamental levels, you know what I mean, and talk about design like really stripped away of the aesthetics and whatnot. Regardless that if later down the path we tend to go back to those because it's what interests us and what we want to make, right? Like this is just for the sake of the design dojo of the things that are think this is just for the sake of the design dojo and the things that I think are worth for most of y'all to learn, because I know most of the people that follow me, um, that follow my content are self-taught designers, right? And I can gauge the level of skill that you all have, and most of y'all are beginners, you know what I mean? and and that's why I figured that this was really a really nice way to not get you to be great. Like only you can do that. You can all work your ass off and become great, but I'm sure like if you dial in and sort of log in and get to these exercises, you'll stop being a beginner like real soon. You know what I mean? Like because this is, I don't know how to say, like design is really simple, but it's hard. You know what I mean? Because you need to do a lot to get to that place of uh, the, oh, I get it. You know what I mean? And from there you can really start to learn. Oh, you uh, what you were talking about uni works too, because the amount of volume you put is almost impossible to do it with your will. Maybe I'm not right. Like Mauro said, you have to make 15 portraits to from one week to the other. So if it good, so if it's good, it will force you to breathe and live for design. Yeah, it's what I was saying. Like you don't need to go to design school, but there are a lot of l- um, I guess the question is, do you need to go to design school nowadays to become a good designer? And the short answer to that is no, because you don't need a degree, and everything you can learn from school, you can learn online. That's it. Now, let me shoot you another question. Like, is going to school for design gonna enrich your career or not? That's a completely different question, because I guess, yeah, if you have the work ethic, and I guess anyone listening here that doesn't have the opportunity to go to a design school because maybe you're in the States and it's really expensive and whatnot, or you don't have like a nice free school you can attend to, these are the two main things that I feel you shouldn't pay attention to. It's like, the work ethic that you're gonna need, at, and this takes a pretty short time. Like, if you lock in and you get to work at a really earlier age of the process, and you really start to get on this, and repetition, and working with the fundamentals, there's a bunch of other also, like, spots online, not just here. There are YouTube videos you can watch more for theory, or whatnot, but focusing on that and getting on that volume of work to get to improve, and to really get it. That's one thing that usually when you're not going to uni, it's really hard to develop on yourself the work ethic, right? But because you don't know that is a thing that you need to have, right? It's not because it's hard. If I'm telling you now, you need to do, I guarantee you, if you make 100 posters a month, like compositions a month, like the ones that I made here, that I made it in, what was that, 30 minutes. Like, if you start to play and get acquainted with the tool, and you start to churn those out to get the feel for typography, and you do 100 of those, like, each month for 3 months, you'll be in another spot, right, regarding typography, that's for sure. And so the work ethic, and then the other one is that when you're working alone, you turn to close on yourself and make your little bubble of work, right? Your work will start to, it's like the algorithm. Your work will start to gravitate to whatever it is that interests you in your really close space, right? When I go to university, I went to university thinking that I was hot shit, because in my primary circle there wasn't really any creative people. Like, I was the most creative one, and the thing that told me apart from my group is that I like to draw. When I got to university, and started to meet people that really had creative upbringings with fathers and mothers that were already artists or designers, then I was like, oh, no, 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 these people live and breathe design in a way that I didn't even notice, right? When I went to school, I didn't know, I wasn't into cinema. I didn't know, like, the classics. I didn't know from design studios. I didn't know, like, who Saul Bass were, or all the fathers of design. So it really broadens your perspective. In and of itself, without getting into the academics of going to school, that's gonna widen your horizon, right? And give you a much better chance of finding what you are, right? You don't need a degree to become a designer, but the fact of going to a place where everybody has the same, like, fears and aims as you regarding career and regarding their interests, that in and of itself is a huge asset that shouldn't be taken lightly. Like, no, I don't want to school because of the degree. That's too short-sighted, right? And it's not how your career operates, right? It's skill, it's interest, it's the people you know, it's the spaces you inhabit. Like, it's things that look really innocuous, but when you start to, me looking back, there are things that I would have done differently. It just in the last couple of years, i I realized that, no, I need to get together with people that do this shit. I had the fantasy that from my bedroom in my computer I could do whatever, right? And you can, to an extent, because to the degree that you don't get distracted, and you can just sit down and log in, you can do a lot. But there is a ceiling to that. And there is a point that you need people and you need other perspectives to gain complexity within your own work, right? Because you form your own echo chamber, and you will force yourself to believe whatever shit you feed yourself. So meet other people, like, go around, fuck around and find out, you know what I mean? If you need to pay for school and it's really crazy what the tuition and what you need to pay, then pay attention to all these other things that I'm telling you. It's the Discord. It's find friends that also like design, find communities, go to local spots. You know what I mean? But it's like you want to be a monster, a fucking unit. You need to train. You want to be a good designer. You need to train as well. It's repetition. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, my guys, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So yeah, for sure. If you want to make something different, then you need to put that amount of work. Yeah, I wouldn't even call. I talked about this like last stream. I remember when we talked about like doing something different, right? Like I don't know. I like the poster did that. This poster that I just did, I like it, right? I like it. I enjoyed doing it, right? Is it different? Like, can't you go into Pinterest and find something like this? Probably yes, but I don't know. Right? Yeah, 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 I guess it is. Like, there isn't something that's exactly the same. But I'm sure that if we go in Pinterest, we'll find something. We'll find the influences for this, right? But what matters for me is that I got to spend an afternoon, like I got to spend an afternoon doing that, doing this. You know what I mean? And talking with Joe and having this graphic design experience. You know what I mean? And I think if we focus more on that in the being different, um, I don't know. It's more. I think it's better for our mental health. I don't know, but yeah, I I I I totally agree that you need to put that amount of work because because that's the other thing. Like, didn't we sign up for being designers and being artists and spend our days doing this? Then what's to complain for? What is there to complain for? We wanted to do art and to do pieces all day. Now we get to because we need to be able to. It's like a never-ending loop of I need to practice to get better and be better to keep doing this and boom, boom, boom. In Art and Fear, the book that I always tell you, like I recommend this book to everybody. Like it says something that's really powerful that the only artists that exist are the ones that keep doing art because art and design also are performatic endeavors. To be a designer and an artist, you need to make art and you need to keep making art, right? The act of being an artist is how you show up again to do your next piece of work, right? That's the life, right? I feel like that's it. What's good, Emmanuel? Yeah, we were just closing up, but you can rewatch it. It was a nice stream. So, yeah, it's like this. Every resource you have at your hand to be able to come back and do more work, that's gonna keep you on the path. You know what I mean? And art and design, it's all about starting again, right? The more you do that start again exercise, the better you get. And also, that's being the artist. It's just standing there in front of the white thing with all your feeling of doubt and what am I do now. That never goes away. That literally is being an artist, right? And being a creative. So to the regard that you are experiencing that now, like, congratulations, you've arrived at the rest of your life. You know what I mean? So I'll close on that, my guys. Thank you for being here and listening to my aimless rambles. So hope you enjoyed it, my guys. Thank you again for being here, for being part of the Design Dojo. And yeah, really love doing this. I'm gonna move next Monday and see you tomorrow, Castiel. We're gonna train. We're doing calisthenics. We're doing some gangster shit. but But yeah, what I was saying. Oh yeah, thank you for joining the Design Dojo, my guys. See you at the Discord. Upload your pieces, and maybe we'll do like a quick stream Friday. I don't know, and no Friday no because I'm literally signing the new list, and weekend I'm moving out. But yeah, next Wednesday we should do another stream, and talk to you then, my guys. See you later. You already know how it fucking is. Fuck peace. We should conflict. Shit. See you. See you guys. Love you all.